Oh, that's it? That's all you got?
4 seconds.
You said it was 4 seconds. I was waiting for the rest of it, you see. Oh, welcome into the high school football scoreboard. We're here tonight for about an hour and a half. August the 21st, 393 teams begin with the dream of playing football tonight. The dream of playing at a state championship game next week. Well, tonight there's 12 games, and it's going to decide who those teams are. And I feel we got some great games going on tonight on this chilly night across the state of Alabama.
Definitely do. Thanksgiving week, and we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. A lot of folks still playing tonight. It's special to get to play on Thanksgiving week, and we've got a great night of football. A lot of teams of local interest as we finish up our final scoreboard of the season.
And let's jump right in right now. All games still in progress. No final scores in Class 6A tonight. Unbeaten Clay Chalkville playing unbeaten Muscle Shoals, and Muscle Shoals led in this game early. It was 10-7, but Clay Chalkville is taking command of the game. They're up now 30-13. Saraland at home tonight. They're playing Benjamin Russell. They've just added a touchdown, and Saraland, they've gone up 21-7 in their game with Benjamin Russell tonight.
In Class 5A, of course, the Scottsboro Wildcats playing at home. They have been penalty plagued in this game most of the game. It's been really basically dead even between these two. Scottsboro turned the ball over around their own 20-yard line and kind of set Moody up with one score. Moody had a 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown late in the second quarter. Right now, Moody's on top 21-10 as they begin the second half. Scottsboro missed a field goal right before the halftime that would have closed it to an 8-point game. In the southern part of the bracket, Viger and Williamson. This has been a great football game all night long. Viger known for their defense, Williamson known for their offense. Right now, Viger's on top of Williamson 21-14.
Those two teams played in the regular season. They're from the same region, Region 1 in Class 5A. Earlier this year, Williamson defeated Viger in overtime 22-14, so it's 21-14 now in the third quarter. Moving on to Class 4A tonight, where the Plainview Bears and Anniston, they went to halftime, all tied up 14-14. It's been all Anniston in the second half field. They just added a touchdown, and the Bulldogs have gone up 26-14 as they lead the Plainview Bears. And they're just getting started in the second half down at Fairhope as St. Michael's is taking on Jackson. These two teams also played earlier this year. They're from the same region. St. Michael's won the regular season game 49-39, but right now it's Jackson leading St. Michael's 23-15. A lot of big plays in this game, a lot of penalties in this game, but a lot of great athletes on the field in that game between Jackson and St. Michael's.
They'll get down to Class 3A. Of course, we've all heard of Mars Hill Bible, the number one ranked team in Class 3A. Well, they're doing it again. They jumped out to an early 21-0 lead on Piedmont. Piedmont closed it to 21-8, but in the second half now, Mars Hill is up by the score of 48-16 as they play third quarter. Both these two teams unbeaten, ranked in the top 10 in Class 3A. But right now, Mars Hill is handily on top. Southern part of the bracket, Bayside Academy's added a couple of more scores. They're now up 37-8 over Southside Selma, trying to go to 13-1 on the year. Southside Selma undefeated on the season, but this Bayside Academy football team's very, very good.
I feel their only loss this year was to St. Michael's earlier, I think, about mid-season there in that week where teams did not play region schedule. They lost to St. Michael's by a touchdown. So this Bayside Academy team is very good, but also the Mars Hill team very good. Phil, you were talking about Mars Hill doing tonight to Piedmont what they did to Geraldine. Between the Higgins kid and the Penn kid. Those two young men both had rushed over 1,500 yards going into the game tonight, and they've had some big plays in that game against Piedmont.
Yeah, I know early Penn had a 66-yard run to put Piedmont up 14-0. So very impressive run by Mars Hill. Of course, Piedmont, great football team. They've been able to move the football. They just haven't been able to slow Mars Hill down.
Updating your 2A scores now. Pisgah and Coosa were tied 28-28, but Coosa's just scored to go on top, 36-28. At one time, Pisgah was up in this game like 22-7 Coosa has battled back. They've taken the lead there at Sam Kennemer Stadium tonight. The Conquerors are up 36-28. They look to go back to the state championship game. And Reeltown was the defending state champion in Class 2A. They're playing Lynette tonight at Lynette. Lynette had beaten them earlier this year, 20-19, back on October the 3rd. But right now, Phil, it's all Lynette as they're on top of Reeltown. 35-0 is the score there as Lynette looks like they're headed back to the 2A state championship game. As Lynette, of course, they've got a long history, a couple of state championships in their school history, and they're up on Reeltown big right now, 35-0.
Yeah, and of course, that Pisgah and Coosa Christian game, as you just gave the update, they've now moved into the fourth quarter. So it's getting crunch time in that game up at Sam Kennemer Stadium between Coosa Christian and Pisgah. I think that's one of those games where folks are getting their money's worth. Up at Kennemer Stadium in Pisgah. In Class 1A, Wadley and Addison, this has been a battle all night long. Wadley was up 14-8. Addison tied it early second half at 14, but now Wadley has scored, got their two-point conversion, and have extended the lead out right now to 22-14 as they play in the third quarter. And, of course, the southern part of the bracket, no surprise that Maplesville's winning. They're 13-0, but Leroy was 13-0, but the Maplesville Red Devils up 38-6 over Leroy as they play second half.
And that score has changed. It's 45-12 is the Maplesville Red Devils. They lost a state championship game to Wadley last year. I'll go ahead and tell you, if Maplesville gets to the 1A state championship, they're locked and ready to win a 1A state championship this year.
Yeah.
As they started the season by blowing out Fife in Montgomery 35-6, and they're very impressive tonight as they lead 45-12.
And I think, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Maplesville has ever won the state championship in football. I saw an article that they've been to the semifinals several times, but I don't know that they've ever won one.
Actually, 4.
They have won them? Okay.
They've won in 1996, 2014, 15, and 16. They won 3 in a row back but they are locked and loaded, and tonight is they're leading Leroy. As Phil told you, both those teams unbeaten on the year. I think there were 11 unbeaten teams playing tonight with the unbeaten records here in the semifinals this evening. And there was one number 3 seed that advanced all the way to the state championship game, and that was Opelika last week when they knocked off Auburn. Of course, the 7A state championship game is scheduled for next Wednesday night down at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, as Thompson will take on Opelika at 7 p.m. in that game tonight or next week. Is looking for a couple updated scores. Right now, again, locally, it's Mars Hill. They're on top of Piedmont. That score is 48-16, but as we were talking about, it's been all Mars Hill as they got out big early in this game. Piedmont got a couple of touchdowns, but Mars Hill has stretched that lead back to 20 and make that 32 right now. Also, the Pisgah and Coosa Christian game. Coosa has just taken an 8-point lead there at 36-28 this evening. And the Plainview and Anniston game, Plainview got out early. It was 7-0. Anniston tied them, actually went ahead. Now, Plainview was 8-6, I believe, in that game, and then Anniston came back, and they've got a 26-14 lead in that game. And it looks like Sarah Landfield has just kicked a field goal with about 9 minutes to go in their game. They lead right now 24-7 over Benjamin Russell as they begin to pull away here in the second half. You got anything?
Got an update. Williamson has scored to tie Viger. They're now 21-21 as they play in the third quarter.
That's got you up to date. Of course, we told you only 12 games scheduled for tonight in the state of Alabama. And we're fortunate we've got games in DeKalb County tonight. We've got 2 up in Jackson County this evening. I think it's the first time ever Scottsboro's played in the semifinals, and it's the first time ever Jackson County's hosted 2 semifinal games tonight. I'm sure those are packed houses up there this evening.
Now, I know I come through Rainsville and at Plainview, of course, that's the third team in that area. The cars at kickoff were all the way out to the highway, on Highway 35, and there were still people trying to get into that football game, and they had already kicked off.
And Pisgah Phil has just scored, got the 2-point conversion. The Eagles and Coosa Christian are tied 36-36. That's in the fourth quarter. That one looks like it's going down to the wire this evening. We're going to keep you up to date on that. Also in 1A, Leroy has just added a touchdown, but they're still trailing by a lot. It's 45-18 in their game with Maplesville as they play in the fourth quarter of their game. Southern Elite Realty serving all of North Alabama. Let Jerry O'Neill and his veteran team of agents provide you with a winning experience. You can check them out at mysouthernelite.com. Southern Elite Realty, where great real estate is built on a firm foundation.
Where can you find a dealership that makes it easy to buy a new vehicle? WholesaleCars.com. Hi, this is Brett, General Manager of WholesaleCars.com. With today's hectic lifestyle, convenience is everything. Buy with us, and you can make your payments online, over the phone, or even by bank draft. You can even choose your payment date. We offer across-the-board financing with rates that beat most banks. That's just a few reasons that we've earned an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Come see us, WholesaleCars.com, Highway 431, Albertville.
At Liberty Bank, we value our local schools and are proud to support all of our teams because this is our community too. To everyone who puts in the long hours of practice to help our kids win in life and on the field, we salute you. Whether you're coach from the sidelines, sell concessions, or score touchdowns, the Liberty Bank team is cheering for you. So from our team to yours, let's make it a great season. Liberty Bank, local bankers serving local customers since 1971.
Friday night lights are shining bright across our community, and Coca-Cola United is proud to be on the sidelines cheering with you. From the first kickoff to the final whistle, we're here to support our hometown athletes, coaches, and fans. Nothing brings people together like football, and nothing refreshes like an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola United, celebrating our community, one game at a time.
Everybody in the community enjoys a football Friday night, coming together to cheer on your favorite team in schools. For over 75 years, Marshall DeKalb Electric Cooperative has provided the electricity to heat and cool the homes, schools, businesses, and light the playing fields in our communities. Marshall DeKalb Electric employees Brandon Burns, Will Wright, Tanner Greer, and Preston Morris played at Sardis High School, and Chip Willoughby played at Albertville High School, and now they provide you with the power for your everyday life.
A dealership that puts the community first. Welcome to Sam Boswell Honda of Gadsden, your hometown headquarters for all things Honda. From Gadsden, Oxford, Jacksonville, Attala, Boaz, Albertville, Gunnersville, and beyond. We offer Alabama's top selection of new Hondas, plus an extensive lineup of dependable pre-owned vehicles, all at prices you'll love. Thinking about selling your car? We're ready to buy. Find us on East Meagan Boulevard in Gadsden. Explore our inventory anytime at BoswellHondaGadsden.com. Sam Boswell Honda. Vehicles you can depend on, people you can trust.
Score Time Scoreboards, the only authorized fair play dealer in Alabama. Owners Avery and Patty Hendricks would like to thank all our loyal customers for your patronage and trusting us to help you keep score for the past 31 years. From the new Scoreboard video boards at Boaz and Douglas High School to all Scoreboard video boards at Birmingham City Schools and all points in between. Proudly serving the WQSB listening area with your scoring needs. No matter what team you root for, the game starts and stops with Score Time Scoreboards.
Shop and save during the Black Friday sale going on now at the Furniture Shop, Lazy Boy Comfort Studios in Albertville and Henniger. Get 20% off store-wide, plus amazing savings on this area's largest selection of Lazy Boy recliners. A select group of recliners, too, for $999, and lift chairs for $899. The Black Friday 20% store-wide savings event on quality handcrafted Lazy Boy comfort in Saturday, December 6th at the Furniture Shop, Lazy Boy Comfort Studios in Albertville and Henniger. Let the shopping begin.
You can listen to high school football action each week on WQSB's sister station. WKXX 102.9 brings you Hoax Bluff Eagles football, and Power 107.5 covers Albertville Aggie football. Now back to the scoreboard on Alabama's country giant WQSB.
Final scores in tonight in Class 3A. It has gone final over in Florence as Mars Hill Bible headed back to the state championship game once again to defend their 3A state championship. They win over Piedmont tonight, 48-16. Wadley also headed back to defend their state championship in Class 1A as the Bulldogs beat Addison 22-14. And Phil, the Plainview Bears, with 10:08 left in the fourth quarter, have added a touchdown. They're within 5 now. It's Anniston 26, Plainview 21.
Well, that's an amazing score and update there. It's, Plainview fell behind by 2 scores, but with 10 minutes left, they've still got a shot. Of course, in Class 2A, that's where I'm going to start now. The Pisgah Eagles give you an update on this one. They just scored with 7:47 to go to make it 36-36. So now they're under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Coosa has the football. It's Pisgah 36, Coosa Christian 36. That game going on at Sam Kennemer Stadium up in Pisgah. The Eagles are 11-2. The Coosa Christian Conquerors are 11-2. It looks like this one's going to go down to the wire. Southern part of the bracket in Class 2A, it's been all Lynette. Reeltown has scored, but Lynette's on top in the second half by the score of 35-7.
And let's update that score. Reeltown has added another touchdown to get closer, but they're still 3 scores behind in the fourth quarter. Lynette 35, Reeltown 13. We'll look at the 1A scores. We told you that Wadley, they're headed back to the state championship game. They win over Addison at Addison tonight, 22-14. Wadley, they won their first and only state championship last year, defeating Maplesville 37-7. Looks like that's who they're going to play again this year, as Maplesville on top of Leroy now. It's 45-18. That game is late in the fourth quarter. And Phil, I know you're going to 3A. I want to update the Bayside score. They've scored again, 51-8. Southside Selma came in unbeaten on the year, leading the state of Alabama in scoring and offense. And tonight it's been all Bayside. And this Bayside Academy team, I told you a couple of weeks ago, you better watch out for these guys. And when I study and look into their what they've done this year in football, they've got an outstanding team. That's going to be a great 3A state championship game next week between them and Mars Hill.
Yeah, definitely so. You hit that right on the nose. As Bayside's up by the score of 51-8 in the fourth quarter. And, of course, like you said, and this will be Thursday at 11 a.m., next Thursday, Mars Hill Bible will make that trip down to Protective Stadium, and boy, that will be a great matchup as Mars Hill knocks off Piedmont 48-16. And a little pat on the back for the Piedmont Bulldogs. Coach Jonathan Miller and his Bulldogs, great season. They'll finish at 13-1. Raleigh Pinto and company had an outstanding year. They just run into a buzzsaw tonight.
And they did. That's the second straight year they've had to make that long trip over to Florence in the semifinal round. They lost last year to Mars Hill, and this year they had to go back, and the Panthers did it to them again, as it was 48-16, as Phil told you. Phil got an update. Again, Maplesville's just added another touchdown. They're up now 52-18. Moving on to Class 4A tonight, where Anniston, they're on top of Plainview. They're at Rainsville tonight. It's Anniston 26 and Plainview 21. And the game between St. Michael's and Jackson, that's on the Alabama Public Network tonight. And we watched most of the first half of that one here. Some great athletes on the field. But Jackson, they got out early. St. Michael's has battled back. St. Michael's playing this game at home, but Jackson still leads as it's become more of a defensive battle here in the second half. It's 23-15 as Jackson leads St. Michael's. Of course, Jackson, the state champion in Class 4A last year, as they defeated Cherokee County, and they're trying to get back to defend their state championship again.
Yeah, of course, there. And of course, there's another one we talked about in Class 5A. They've now moved to the fourth quarter. Scottsboro's still in this football game. It ain't over yet. The 9-4 Wildcats are trailing to Moody 21-10. So Scottsboro has done an outstanding job defensively. They give up really one explosive play all night, and that was a 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown. But other than that, Scottsboro's played very well defensively, but they still trail 21-10 as they're now in the fourth quarter. And, of course, it's a game that's been a dandy when Williamson and Viger, 12-0 Williamson against 11-2 Viger. Williamson won the game earlier in the season, but right now Williamson and Viger all tied 21-21 as they play fourth quarter.
And Phil Jackson has just scored as Xavier Crowell scores again tonight. And Jackson has gone up now 31-15 as they play in the third quarter of their game. As we move on to Class 6A, we've got our first 6A final in tonight as Clay Chalkville goes to Muscle Shoals tonight. Two unbeaten teams. Clay Chalkville 13-0. Muscle Shoals was 12-0. Clay Chalkville gets the win tonight 30-13 as they knock off the Trojans of Muscle Shoals tonight. And Clay Chalkville headed to the state championship game. That game will be next Friday. As Saraland, they continue to lead, but Benjamin Russell, as Phil just added a touchdown with about 7 minutes to go in that game. Saraland is up 24-14, 24-14. Saraland also unbeaten on the year. The winner of that game, of course, will play Clay Chalkville in the state championship game in Class 6A. You got any updates there?
That's it. That's all I have right now.
So 3 final scores in tonight in 6A. Clay Chalkville over Muscle Shoals 30-13. Mars Hill was a winner over Piedmont 48-16. And Wadley in 1A has defeated Addison 22-14.
One update, third quarter, still in the third quarter. Viger has scored in Class 5A. They've gone up on Williamson now 28-21.
That is the battle for Mobile, I guess. That's for the city championship. Williamson won earlier this year, 22-14. They're battling back and forth tonight as Viger, as Phil told you, has gone up on the Williamson Lions there. And it looks like, Phil, with about 3 minutes to go, Coosa has scored, got the 2-point conversion, and they're up now on Pisgah 44-36. What a great game tonight at Sam Kennemer Stadium. That's the way they're supposed to be tonight. As Colin Johnson just got some updates here. Colin Johnson for Coosa has rushed for 294 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he's the young man who just scored the touchdown to put Coosa Christian up, and he's only a sophomore.
That's unreal.
Only a sophomore there at
He's
Coosa.
a good one.
Colin Johnson, one of the best players in the state of Alabama. Pisgah trailing Coosa now. It's Coosa Christian 44, Pisgah 36. Special thanks to our Team of the Week sponsors this year, Dixie Designs, Wilson's Trophies, and Wilburn's Waxing Solutions. This season, we handed out Team of the Week T-shirts and trophies to 11 schools and over 800 players and coaches in Northeast Alabama. Thanks for your support of the high school football scoreboard.
The deals keep rolling at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service. Now through November 30th, we're giving $100 off any set of 4 Goodyear or Kelly branded tires. That's instant savings on quality tires from the brands you know, installed by the experts you trust. And there's more. When you combine our offer with Goodyear's current rebate, you can save up to $300. Visit one of our 12 locations today to take advantage of this offer while it lasts, including Albertville, Gunnersville, and Gadsden. And remember, at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Pax Nursery and Garden Center on Highway 168 between Boaz and Kilpatrick reminds you fall is time for planting, and they have a large selection of fruit trees, blackberry plants, grapevines, blueberry bushes, shade and flowering trees, encore azaleas, hydrangeas, roses, hollies, boxwoods, and much more. They also have mulch, pine straw, concrete pots, and statuary. Follow them on Facebook to see what's new. Pax Nursery and Garden Center, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and Saturdays till noon.
Hi, this is Brent Rhodes, candidate for DeKalb County Commission President. As a lifelong resident of DeKalb County, I care deeply about our people, our values, and our future. On May the 19th, I would truly appreciate your vote. I'm committed to working hard for our community and helping move DeKalb County forward. Best of luck to all of our local teams this year. We're proud of you.
Paid political advertisement by Brent Rhodes, Crossville, Alabama.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Right now, Ace Rewards members get instant savings on a big selection of top brand tools that make great gifts for the holidays. Save $50 instantly on select DeWalt 20-volt Max Atomic brushless power tool kits and batteries. You'll also save $50 instantly on select Milwaukee power tools. Save $30 instantly on select Craftsman's 20-volt power tool kits and batteries. Instant savings are available exclusively for Ace Rewards members. Sign up and start saving today at Weathers Ace Hardware.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones, your hometown trusted choice insurance agency. Randy Jones and Associates knows the playing field, and we have been proudly serving communities across North Alabama for 46 years. Having the right protection on the field is important. The RJA team of experienced agents will help you find affordable, customized insurance coverage for your family, business, and future. Stop by a local Randy Jones Associates office for a free, no-obligation quote or complimentary policy review.
At First Southern Bank, we've been serving our community since 1935, starting small, growing strong, and always investing in what matters more, you. From personal checking to business loans, we're here to help you save smarter, borrow with confidence, and build a stronger future. We're local, we're homegrown, and we're still growing, one customer at a time. Visit Greg or Clint at the Boaz branch and experience banking built on trust, service, and hometown values. First Southern Bank, banking with heart since 1935, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You can buy for less. Hey folks, Randy Ball here at Gilbert Ball Ford in Albertville. At Gilbert Ball Ford, our customer service is top priority. Our priority is to serve our customers and our communities. We'll appreciate having you as our customer and look forward to serving you again. Come see the difference at Gilbert Ball Ford in Albertville. And remember folks, if you don't come see us, I can't save you any money. And visit our website at gilbertballford.com. You can buy for less. You can buy for less.
Your Friday night football tradition continues. Now back to the WQSB High School Football Scoreboard, presented by Southern Elite Realty in Guntersville.
Well, we got some good ones going on in our area. Coosa Christian, we told you as we went into the break, had scored. They've gone up 44 to 36 over the Pisgah Eagles and the Plainview Bears. While we were in the break, they actually got the 2-point conversion, got the 2-point conversion. They're up now on Anniston 29 to 26, and it looks like Moodyville has just added a touchdown, and they've gone up on Scottsboro 28 to 10 as they play with about 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So it looks like the Moody Blue Devils will be headed back to the state championship game as they lead Scottsboro late.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's one of them where mistakes early cost Scottsboro, and they needed to be leading in the second half because eventually, you know, those athletes, a lot of times, they're going to break one at some point, especially if you get a little tired. And Moody now up 28 to 10. Of course, Scottsboro has given a gallant effort and had their opportunities. But Moody, it looks like they may be going back to the finals, of course.
Well, you told me that Jacoby Edmondson, it didn't start the game, and of course he got hurt and injured last week over in the Fairview game, and we talked about it last week, how they had to have other players step up tonight, and you know that that young man, being a senior, really wanted to play in that game tonight, and I'm sure he gave it all he could to play tonight, but just could not go. And of course, when he can't go for Scottsboro, that makes them feel really a different team.
Yeah, definitely so, because you know he has that where he can break a tackle and then breakaway speed. Scottsboro moved the ball very well on offense, kind of did the same things they did against Fairview without Edmondson in the game, but they just couldn't get enough of it. And of course, a team like Moody eventually is going to adjust to you.
And, I mean, this Moody team, let's face it, they played for the state championship last year. They played one of the toughest schedules in the state. They're unbeaten in 5A. They lost to Gainesville, Georgia, this week. And if you're keeping up with high school football, you probably understand what went on there. It's in quarter. I think they're going to play this weekend because they had a free-for-all fight that got 35 players kicked out. Gainesville took it to court. And the court overturned what the Georgia High School Athletic Association had ruled to let Gainesville play. And that's a mess over there right now between the courts and the Georgia High School Athletic Association. But anyway, that's one of the teams that Moody lost to, and they lost to Auburn High School. And of course, Auburn lost last week in the 7A semifinals to Opelika. So this Moody team, very, very good football team, as in Class 3A, Phil. Southside Selma has gotten a little bit closer. It's now 51-14 as Bayside Academy leads Southside Selma. And let's run down the scores that we do have right now. Of course, we told you one 6A final in tonight, and that was Clay Chalkville defeating Muscle Shoals 30-13. Clay Chalkville headed to the state championship game. Looks like they'll play Saraland. Is Saraland now up on Benjamin Russell 31-14? As both those teams, if it stays that way, will be unbeaten going to the state championship game next week in Class 6A.
In Class 5A, as we told you about, just give you an update, Moody has extended the lead to 28-10. Scottsboro, the first time in school history they have hosted the semifinals, but it don't look like it's meant to be. The Wildcats are down 28-10 as they play fourth quarter. Viger and Williamson rematch here. Williamson won the initial game. Viger's on top. In the one that's the most important right now, in the fourth quarter now, Viger leads over Williamson by the score of 28-21.
And Phil Benjamin Russell has just scored to pull within 10, but it's late in the game. 31-21, Saraland on top of Benjamin Russell in the fourth quarter. Moving on to Class 4A, we told you coming out of the break that the Plainview Bears had scored, got the 2-point conversion. They're up by 3 on Anniston. There can't be a lot of time left in this game. About 4 minutes, I believe, when Plainview scored. So the Bears looking to go back to the state championship game. Plainview, of course, has never won a state championship. The Bears played for a state championship back in 1990 and 1991. So they're trying to get back to the state championship game, and they're just a couple of minutes away from realizing that dream. Jackson is up 31-15 with about 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. This game may not be over by the time we go off at 10:30. I mean, a lot of penalties in this game. We've had several touchdowns called back. And if they had review down there, we'd have a lot of plays that were reviewed. But right now, Jackson is up by a couple of scores on St. Michael's, 31-15.
Before I go to 3A, Jeff, got an update in the 2A bracket. Southern Park, Lynette, and Reeltown. Reeltown has scored again. It's 35-19 as they play fourth quarter. Your 3A scores, Mars Hill Bible, of course, advanced. They're now 14-0. They beat Piedmont 48-16, so they'll move on to the state championship game and play next Thursday. Looks like they're going to be taking on Bayside Academy. Bayside Academy coming into this game 12-1. They are defeating unbeaten Southside Selma. What a great year Southside Selma has had. Boy, this program has really gotten off the deck. A lot of times they've been everybody's pushover, but this year Selma has had a great season, but it looks like they're going to fall short in the semifinals. Bayside leads them 51-14 as they play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Southside Selma lost to Houston Academy last year in the semifinals, and looks like they're going to lose to Bayside Academy tonight as they had to travel to Bayside. This is the high-scoring team, Southside Selma, high-scoring team in the High School Athletic Association this year. And, of course, we told you last week that their 8th-grade quarterback, Moody, the coach's son, was the leading passer in the nation. He threw for over 300 last week to put him up to 5,400 passing yards going into the game tonight. But it hadn't been as successful tonight for at Bayside. In Class 2A, Coosa Christian scored a few moments ago with about 3 minutes to go in their game at Pisgah. They were leading 44-36, got the 2-point conversion. I don't think either one of these teams tonight has kicked an extra point. They both going for the 2-point conversion. Right now, Coosa is up 44-36. As we told you, big night for Kylan Johnson for Coosa Christian tonight. And they lead, as Phil told you a few minutes ago, they lead Lynette is on top of Reeltown 35-19. Now, these two teams played back on October the 3rd, and Lynette eked out a 20-19 win, and that's why they're playing at home. Reeltown made the state championship game, are the defending state champions in Class 2A. They were down 35-0 at one point, but as Phil told you, they battled back. Now it's 35-19.
Of course, in Class 1A, Wadley has advanced. No surprise here. They're now 13-0 on the season. They won at Addison, but, boy, we had talked about this team, and this is one of those teams that Jeff pointed out early in the season. A lot of times when Addison moves down to 1A, they are usually a tough out, and they were once again. But the Wadley Bulldogs hold on as they win at Addison by the final score of 22-14 to advance to the finals. Looks like they're going to be taking on Maplesville. Maplesville and Leroy, both these two teams were unbeaten at 13-0, but Maplesville getting the best of the Bears, 52-18 as they play in the fourth quarter.
Bill got a couple of finals in. It has gone final tonight at Pisgah. Coosa Christian has advanced to the state championship game as they defeat Pisgah 44-36 tonight, and also a final score this evening in Class 5A as Viger, and they defeat Williamson 28-21. They get revenge on Williamson. Williamson was 12-0, Viger 11-2. Williamson had won in overtime back on October 17th. And the Wolves of Viger headed back to the state championship game. Viger, 4 state championships for the Wolves. The latest one a few years ago is they defeated the Aniana Redskins when they were 4A. But Viger state championships in 87, 88, 2008, and, of course, 2021. Viger looks like they're going to play Moody as Moody Field. It has gone final. Nope, excuse me, it hasn't gone final. Moody has scored again. It's now 35-10 as they pull away from Scottsboro here late in the game.
Yeah, but it's a shame for the Scottsboro Wildcats, who gave it a valiant effort, but just too much Moody. The Blue Devils are a solid football team. We knew coming into this one it was going to be a tall order for the Wildcats.
And a great year for Coach Adam Gilbert and the Pisgah Eagles. They played a very tough schedule this year. One of their losses, of course, was to the Plainview Bears earlier this year. They lost, I believe, to 5 earlier this year. That was their 2 losses going into the game tonight at Coosa. They battled this team, but Coosa a little too much. Kylan Johnson, what a great night for that young man. Don't know if these are his final stats, but 294 yards and 6 touchdowns for Coosa Christian. He scored the last touchdown as he led Coosa Christian to a 44-36 win. Coosa Christian headed to the state championship game, and they'll play on next Friday, which is December the 5th at 3 o'clock, and they'll play the winner of Lynette and Reeltown, and Lynette is on top of that game right now, 35-19 as they play late in their game, and looking to check and see if we've got any other finals, Phil.
I want to say, too, hats off to the Pisgah Eagles, Coach Adam Gilbert's team. Great year, 11-3. Knew it was going to be a tall order, and most folks outside of Pisgah didn't think this team had a chance. Well, they gave it a gallant effort, and, there's one thing you can say about them. They had a chance, and that's all you can ask for. Again,
giving you the final scores, that we have about 5 final scores out of the 12 games tonight in Class 6A. It was Clay Chalkville. They beat Muscle Shoals 30-13. Viger has defeated Williamson. That's in the southern bracket of Class 5A. Viger 28, Williamson 21. Mars Hill Bible, again, a big night rushing as they defeat Piedmont tonight. It was Mars Hill over Piedmont, 48-16. Coosa Christian beats Pisgah 44-36 field. It has gone final. Lynette, a winner tonight over Reeltown. So we know our first matchup in the state championship game as Lynette gets the win. That's 2 wins over Reeltown. We'll have a brand new 2A state champion next week, as that game will be at 3 o'clock next Friday from Protective Stadium in Birmingham. It'll be Coosa Christian against Lynette. Lynette jumped out to a 35-0 lead in this game. They held on as Reeltown scored 3 late touchdowns. It wasn't enough as Lynette advances 35-19. And Wadley, a winner tonight, as they'll get to defend their state championship next week as they defeated the Addison Bulldogs. A game that was a little closer than I expected it to be. I thought Addison would give them a good game, but Wadley's been blowing everybody out. They may play a half but then in the second half they dominate. Well, Addison got down 14-0 in this game and then battled back to tie the game up at 14-14 before Wadley got the 2-point conversion, and the Wadley Bulldogs move on to the state championship game in Class 1A. Phil, have you got any updates?
No updates, other than the Plainview and Anniston game. Still Plainview 29, Anniston 26. They're still playing in the fourth quarter.
Game has to be late in the game there at Anniston or at Plainview tonight. Wilburn's Waxing Solutions, they specialize in recoating gymnasium hardwood floors, tile floors, and they offer commercial cleaning. You can contact Michael or Mikhail Wilburn at Wilburn's Waxing Solutions, or you can check them out on Facebook.
Hey, it's Friday Night Lights. Cooler weather and great deals on new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs at Alexander Ford in Boaz. Come see us before you buy your next vehicle. We do not have what you want. We'll order it for you. We have been in business for over 50 years and want to thank our customers and invite you to come see why people come see us again and again. The automobile business has changed, but Alexander Ford still values family, friendships, and good hometown people. Good luck to your school this football season, and come see us at Alexander Ford in Boaz.
Dreaming of the perfect backyard? Now booking for next year. From stunning 3D designs to one-on-one service, Martinez Pools will bring your vision to life in 2026. Vinyl, fiberglass, orgonite pools, landscaping, sod, irrigation, and waterfalls, outdoor kitchens, hot tubs, and putting greens. Full turnkey service from start to finish. Schedule your spot now. Our openings for next year are limited. Call 256-452-8464 today to reserve your project and make your home the place where kids come to play and memories are made.
Everybody in the community enjoys a football Friday night, coming together to cheer on your favorite team in schools. For over 75 years, Marshall DeKalb Electric Cooperative has provided the electricity to heat and cool the homes, schools, businesses, and light the playing fields in our communities. Marshall DeKalb Electric employees Brandon Burns, Will Wright, Tanner Greer, and Preston Morris played at Sardis High School, and Chip Willoughby played at Albertville High School, and now they provide you with the power for your everyday life.
Since 1991, James Barbecue has been serving up mouth-watering barbecue starting from a humble food truck in Geraldine, Alabama. Now with 2 smoking locations, including Little James Barbecue in Rainsville, they're still cooking fresh food daily with homemade sauces you'll dream about. Don't forget steak night every Friday, hot off the grill and worth the trip. And Annie says,
"Come get my dad's barbecue. We're fired up to serve you."
James Barbecue or Little James Barbecue is always available for catering. James Barbecue, slow cooked and full of Southern flavor.
When your rides having issues again, don't panic. Call the family at Ohana Auto Repair in Rainbow City. Ohana means family, and that's exactly how we treat you. Our ASE certified technicians work on all makes and models, European, domestic, and import, from oil changes to engine diagnostics to electrical issues that make your dash light up. And yes, we actually know what that weird clanking sound is. Ohana Auto Repair in Rainbow City, where you're not just a customer, you're family. Call us at 256-442-6864.
The snap is good. The connection is great. FTC brings fiber internet to your home turf this football season. No buffering, no dropped connections, just reliable high-speed internet that's built to perform where it matters most. Whether you're streaming the game or checking the scores, we've got the speed you need. Score big with FTC's fiber, your home team for high-speed internet. Call 256-638-2144 or visit farmerstel.com today. FTC, we keep you connected.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace gift cards are perfect for giving to the DIYer, homeowner, or anyone else on your list this holiday season. Right now, Ace Rewards members get an additional $10 gift card free with the purchase of a $50 gift card. Not a member? No problem. Just sign up today. Limit 2 free gift cards per Ace Rewards account. Sign up and start saving today at Weathers Ace Hardware.
Now back to the WQSB High School Football Scoreboard, presented by Southern Elite Realty in Guntersville, the most listened to scoreboard in the state of Alabama. Here's your hosts, Jeff Allen and Phil Harris.
And we are back inside the studio tonight, our final night of the 2025 season. As Dave Soha reminded me, we started way back in July with media days, and now here in the last Friday night in November, we're going to wrap it up tonight with the state championship games coming up next week. Phil, it's just gone final in Scottsboro as the Moody Blue Devils, they advanced to the state championship game again this year. They lost to Montgomery Catholic last year in the state championship game in Class 5A. They're going to play the Viger Wolves next week. That game will be the 7 o'clock game next Thursday night from Protective Stadium there in Birmingham. But again, Coach Tyler Van, a great run here in the playoffs. They go in the playoffs 6-4, and they get 3 straight wins, and just a great win last week at Fairview to score late to win that game. Get Cole Wright to kick that field goal to get to the semifinals, as you said earlier. First time in school history that Scottsboro played in a semifinal game at home, and they just came up a little bit short against the Blue Devils tonight.
No excuse. Of course, Jacoby Edmondson was very limited. He tried to go, but it really hurt Scottsboro. But the Wildcats stood toe-to-toe in the first half. They gave up a key 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown, but Scottsboro missed a field goal that would have closed it to 21-13 there near halftime. But nonetheless, I think Moody kind of sort of got a stranglehold on what Scottsboro was doing offensively. And so they were very limited in weapons in the second half. So Moody kind of pulls away and wins it 35-10. But Coach Tyler Van's team gave it a great effort. This team gets to the semifinals. Of course, it was the first time ever that they hosted the semifinals at home at Trammell Stadium. They fall short. They finished 9-5, but a banner year for the Scottsboro Wildcats.
Well, Phil, I think if we'd have talked to Coach Van this week, he would have told us that they had to hold Moody to 14 to 20 points to win the game.
Yeah.
Because Scottsboro needed to run the ball. When they fell behind and had multiple scores, it's just not something Scottsboro does well is with this group is throw the football. They need to control the ball. They need to control the tempo of the game. And once it got over 2 scores, it was going to be difficult for the Wildcats to come back with this team this year anyway.
Yeah, of course. Now, they did a great job. It was 7-all. And they turned the ball over, got the ball stopped, Aniston, got the ball at their own 20-yard line, but had a turnover and set up Moody with a score to make it 14-7. But Scottsboro went on a fake punt, drove the ball down the field, ate up about 6 minutes of clock, and started doing the things that they wanted to do. But they got held up and had to kick a field goal to make it 14-10 instead of tying it. I think that was key right there by Moody holding them to a field goal. And so that kept Scottsboro behind because Moody in the next series, with about 3 minutes to go in the half, breaks off a 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown. And that really put separation between the two. It made it tough on the Wildcats.
Yeah, Scottsboro were they had a mythical state championship back in 1965. They were trying to make it to their first state championship game. They're going to fall short tonight. Moody headed back to the state championship game. Moody, the Blue Devils, looking for their first state championship in school history. They made it to the championship game last year. They lost to Catholic of Montgomery, but they will play this year against the Viger Wolves. Phil, it has gone final down at Saraland, and Saraland has defeated Benjamin Russell 38-21. So Saraland will advance to play Clay Chalkville. That'll be the 6A state championship game. They'll play that next Friday evening at 7 o'clock. That should be a good one. 2 unbeaten teams. Saraland with 1 state championship. They beat Mountain Brook back in 2022 for their only state championship. And Clay Chalkville, they're headed back looking for their 5th state championship as they've won in 1999 and 2014, then in 21, and then 2023. Clay lost last year. They were upset, I believe, by Muscle Shoals in the second round, but they go to Muscle Shoals and they get revenge tonight. 30-13 is the final score in that one. And also, let me tell you, Phil, it has gone final in 3A, so we know that matchup also as Bayside Academy. They defeat Southside Selman tonight. 51-20 was the final score. So it'll be 14-0 Mars Hill against 13-1 Bayside Academy. And again, the only loss for Bayside Academy was against St. Michael's, and they're playing in the semifinals in 4A right now.
Yeah, and you could say this about these two teams have been very impressive all season long. have not really been touched other than the one loss by Bayside Academy. And these two, I think it's one of those, they've been on a collision course all season long, much like Maplesville and Wadley.
So just 3 games, I believe, that are still playing tonight. And I believe that St. Michael's and Jackson game, there's about 9-10 minutes left in that game in the fourth quarter. Jackson's still leading 31-15. The other game still in progress that hasn't gone final is Maplesville and Leroy in Class 1A. We just don't know what the final score. We know what the result is going to be, as Maplesville's up big in that game, 59-18, and still looking for a final from up at Rainsville tonight, as Plainview is leading Anniston 29-26. Phil, anything you've got an update on that one tonight? So those are the only scores remaining, and that we don't have finals on this evening. So, Phil, let's run down our finals. We'll begin in Class 6A, where Clay Chalkville, a winner over Muscle Shoals, 30-13. Saraland knocks off Benjamin Russell, 38-21.
In Class 5A, as we told you, the Moody Blue Devils move on to the championship game. They beat Scottsboro 35-10, while Viger gets revenge. They win the big one. Viger knocks off Williamson by the final score of 28-21.
The 2 4A games still in progress, with Plainview leading Anniston 29-26, and Jackson is on top of St. Michael's right now, 31-15.
In Class 3A, we've got the championship game locked in. Bayside Academy, they knocked off Southside Selma. Great year for Southside Selma, but they fall short 51-20 to Bayside Academy. And the Piedmont Bulldogs fall short once again. They fall in the semifinals for the second straight year. Mars Hill Bible does it to them again, this time 48-16. So Mars Hill Bible will take on Bayside Academy.
And moving on to Class 2A tonight, it has gone final up at Pisgah, as Coosa Christian has defeated Pisgah 44-36. Lynette has knocked off Reeltown, the defending champion, and Lynette 35, Reeltown 19. So Lynette will play Coosa Christian at 3 p.m. next Friday for the 2A state championship.
And, of course, in Class 1A, Wadley, no surprise, but they had a barn burner with Addison. They had to go to Addison, and Wadley pulls it off. The number 1 ranked team in Class 1A back to the finals once again, trying to defend their title. They beat Addison 22-14. Still not final, but they're probably going to take on Maplesville. Maplesville trying to run their record up to 14-0. They lead Leroy 59-18 as they play late fourth quarter.
Phil got an update from Rainsville tonight. Quarterback Damon Pope scored on a 6-yard run with 4 seconds left. Anniston has taken a 32-29 lead over the Plainview Bears with just seconds remaining in the game. Actually, 4.3 is what I've been told, as Anniston has driven and has scored. And if they win that game, they'll advance to the state championship game. What a game up in Rainsville tonight between those two teams, Anniston and Plainview. Damon Pope, a senior quarterback, with a 6-yard run to give Anniston the lead.
Well, they'll be disappointed for the Plainview faithful, but what a great game. They'll get their money's worth. And, of course, that's like you say, you get to this point, all you want's a chance, and give, the 3 local teams right here close, Scottsboro, Pisgah, and Plainview all have given gallant efforts. Of course, Coosa Christian's going to move on to the finals, so we knew we was going to get 1 local team out from that. But it's going to be a disappointing ending for 3 teams, it looks like. But what a great game at Plainview. Overflow crowd, a great environment. What a great season for the Bears.
It has gone final. Anniston has defeated Plainview tonight 32-29 as the Bulldogs defeat the Plainview Bears. They score late to a heartbreaking loss for the Plainview Bears as they came back and took the lead. But you got to credit Anniston. They put together a great drive, Phil, apparently, at the end of the game and score with just seconds left to defeat Plainview 32-29. And Anniston will play the winner of Jackson and St. Michael's. Still about 8 minutes to go in that game, and Jackson up 31-15. Lake Properties, Mountain Properties, residential or commercial. At Southern Elite Realty, they treat every property like it's their own. check them out at mysouternelite.com. Southern Elite Realty, where great real estate is built on a firm foundation.
Score Time Scoreboards, the only authorized fair play dealer in Alabama. Owners Avery and Patty Hendricks would like to thank all our loyal customers for your patronage and trusting us to help you keep score for the past 31 years. From the new Scoreboard video boards, Boaz and Douglas High School, to all Scoreboard video boards at Birmingham City Schools and all points in between. Proudly serving the WQSB listening area with your scoring needs. No matter what team you root for, the game starts and stops with Score Time Scoreboards.
This is DeKalb County Sheriff Nick Weldon. At the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, we truly believe in the concept of public service. My deputies and I will always strive to be fair and just and treat every person the same. We pledge to develop a partnership with the community to improve the safety for each citizen and give them a positive experience with our office. Our goal at the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office is to protect you, your family, and your property. God bless.
In sports, every point counts. And at Alpha Insurance, we know when it comes to your budget, every dollar counts. That's why we work to get you the lowest rates and best discounts available. Plus, every Alpha policy comes with personal service from our hometown team. Call Alpha to start saving today.
In North Alabama, call us, Cy Giles and Holly Bobo at the Giles & Bobo Insurance Group.
You can reach us at 256-538-8201 or stop by our office at 410 5th Avenue Northeast in Attala, Alabama.
Everybody in the community enjoys a football Friday night, coming together to cheer on your favorite team and schools. For over 75 years, Marshall DeKalb Electric Cooperative has provided the electricity to heat and cool the homes, schools, businesses, and light the playing fields in our communities. Marshall DeKalb Electric employees Jennifer Oliver, Todd Dismukes, Haley Crowden, Colby Kidd, Daryl Ross, and Kelly Knight were proud to play, cheer, and perform for Crossville High School, and now provide you with the power for your everyday life.
Hey, it's Friday Night Lights. Cooler weather and great deals on new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs at Alexander Ford in Boaz. Come see us before you buy your next vehicle. We do not have what you want. We'll order it for you. We have been in business for over 50 years and want to thank our customers and invite you to come see why people come see us again and again. The automobile business has changed, but Alexander Ford still values family, friendships, and good hometown people. Good luck to your school this football season, and come see us at Alexander Ford in Boaz.
At Liberty Bank, we value our local schools and are proud to support all of our teams because this is our community too. To everyone who puts in the long hours of practice to help our kids win in life and on the field, we salute you. Whether you're coach from the sidelines, sell concessions, or score touchdowns, the Liberty Bank team is cheering for you. So from our team to yours, let's make it a great season. Liberty Bank, local bankers serving local customers since 1971.
Support your favorite team in school colors from Dixie Designs, Denson Avenue in Boaz. Dixie Designs can create a logo or custom artwork for your school, church, business, or upcoming event. From screen printing to embroidery, the team at Dixie Designs can do it all. T-shirts, caps, sweats, jackets, polos, uniforms, and much more. Dixie Designs is the official printer of the WQSB Team of the Week T-shirts. Dixie Designs, 415 Denson Avenue in Boaz. Quality sportswear that you can wear every day.
Hey folks, Jerry O'Neill, broker and owner of Southern Elite Realty. We're so proud to be a part of the WQSB family and honored to help bring you the Friday Night Scoreboard.
And we are back. Jeff Allen, Phil Harris. We've got a whole crew in here tonight. Of course, Russ, who the last couple of weeks has stepped in for Trey, and Dave Soha is actually in the studio tonight. Mr. Blount County is not at his home listening for Blount County scores for us tonight. Of course, Andrew is here, and we've had a lot of help through the season as we wrap up the 2025 season tonight here on semifinals night. As we told you at the beginning of the show, 393 teams. That's how many teams play high school football in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. All of them, Phil, had a dream of playing tonight in the semifinal night, playing the day after Thanksgiving, but there were 24 teams playing tonight, 12 games, and we've only got a couple left now. We've got 2 games still in progress but all the others are finals. So some of those teams are going to get to live out their dream next week in Birmingham playing for a state championship.
Definitely so. And, of course, and hats off to them. It's a great time to be playing high school football, and it's always – it's great to win a state championship. You wish every kid could play for a state championship or win a state championship. It don't happen that way. Most of these kids get disappointed and have to live with that. But it's a great thing. You have to be blessed sometimes and to get to play for a state championship. And there's some teams that's going to get to do it. Let's start in Class 6A. Clay Chalkville moves on to the finals. They beat Muscle Shoals 30-13. Clay Chalkville, number one team in Class 6A. What a great year they've had. They're now 14-0. Hens Muscle Shoals run at 12-1. They will play Saraland. Saraland beat Benjamin Russell 38-21. Another team, Benjamin Russell, what a great year they had. They finished 12-2, but Saraland just too much. They're now 13-0 as Saraland will play Clay Chalkville next week.
In Class 5A, your matchup next week will be Moody against Viger, because Moody was a winner tonight as they travel to Trammell Stadium in Scottsboro. One of the great atmospheres to play football in, and I'm sure it was a great atmosphere with the folks in Scottsboro there tonight. The Wildcats are disappointed tonight, but Moody goes in. They win the game 35-10 this evening. And Viger and Williamson, they battle back and forth throughout the evening. Williamson had defeated Viger earlier this year, but tonight Viger gets their revenge. The Wolves win 28-21. Viger and Moody will play next week. That game will be on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And Phil, we do have another final score in. Maplesville has defeated Leroy tonight 59-18. That is now a confirmed final. So that leaves only one game still in progress this evening.
In Class 4A, we told you about this one, the Magical Slipper runoff for the Plainview Bears. Great atmosphere, great crowd, overflow crowd. Cars parked all the way out to Highway 35 around the DeKalb County Schools Coliseum when I went by. I can only imagine how great that atmosphere was. I know it was packed on both sides. Everybody was lined up along the fences, but it just wasn't meant to be for the Bears. They fall short. Anniston scores with 4 seconds remaining to take away the Magic Slipper, and the Anniston Bulldogs move on to the finals, beating the Bears 32-29 as Plainview falls to 13-1. And falls short of their goal of getting to the state championship. As Jeff told you, we've still got that one game that's still going on. That's Jackson and St. Michael's. Very chippy type game. These two know each other very well. A lot of penalty flags, but right now Jackson has just scored to extend the lead to 37-15. So they're in pretty good shape here, barring a miracle comeback by St. Michael's, but the Aggies are on top 37-15.
Of course, St. Michael's won this game earlier this year 49-39 in that game, but Jackson's defense has held the St. Michael's passing attack, and Phillip Rivers is the coach down there. His son, outstanding quarterback there at St. Michael's. They've held that offense down this evening, but again, a lot of penalty flags, and their last touchdown, Phil, was scored, I guess, they put it in a defensive tackle to score their touchdown. Big guy, about 300 pounds, just ran it in. Of course, the Anniston Bulldogs will play the winner of that game, and right now it looks to be Jackson. The Aggies are the defending 4A state champion. Moving on to Class 3A now, where the Mars Hill Bible Panthers, they defeated Piedmont tonight, 48-16. Mars Hill jumped out to a big lead early in this game, much like they have against every other opponent they played this year. They've just blew out most of their opponents this year, and they beat the Piedmont Bulldogs tonight 48-16. The Bayside Academy team there, the Admirals, I believe, they defeat Southside Selma. Southside Selma came in very high-scoring team, averaging over 50 points a game. They only scored 20 tonight. Bayside Academy is the one that scored 50. In fact, 51 as they defeat Southside Selma 51-20. Next week, you'll have Bayside Academy and Mars Hill. That game will be Friday morning. They'll kick off at 11 o'clock in Birmingham.
Well, in Class 2A, the Pisgah Eagles fall short. They fall to Coosa Christian. Coosa Christian gets a late touchdown and a 2-point conversion and holds off the Eagles 44-36. What a great season for the Eagles. This team really put it together about midway through the year after their loss to Plainview. This team went on a run, and they nearly got Coosa Christian. Coosa Christian, a very talented team. I think most people, hands down, said they were going to win the North in Class 2A, but Pisgah did have something to say about it. They made them earn it. The Pisgah Eagles fall to Coosa Christian 44-36. Congratulations to the Conquerors. They move on to the state championship game. They're now 12-2 on the year. You know, a lot of pressure when you're the favorite, but Coosa Christian got it done on the road at Kennemer Stadium tonight in Pisgah. In the southern part of the bracket, Lynette beats Reeltown 35-19. Lynette now 12-2, and they'll get Coosa Christian in the state championship game next Friday.
Bill, you're right about Coosa. I mean, there was high expectations for this football team the entire year. They've lived up to it. You know, their 2 losses, one to out-of-state Pierce County, Georgia, who is a state champion from Georgia, and they lost by 1 to Pell City like in week 1 of the season. That's their only 2 losses. They've ripped off now 12 in a row as they go into that state championship game against Lynette. Of course, Coosa will be looking for their first state championship, and Lynette has 2 back in 2017 and 2019. Lynette with 2 state championships, and I believe one of those they defeated Paul Bentonville and the Fife Red Devils in one of their state championships. Or was that Leroy? I guess it was Leroy.
Leroy, the Bears.
Leroy,
yeah, I was there that day.
Instead of Lynette, it was Leroy. So again, congratulations to Coosa and Colin Johnson. Another big night for that young man. As he rushes for 6 touchdowns tonight to almost 300 yards is what we were told this evening, and leading Coosa to that win. And in Class 1A, the 1A state championship game has been set. I think we knew this was going to be the 1A state championship game. These 2 teams have been number 1 and number 2 all year. Wadley's been number 1, Maplesville's number 2. That'll be your state championship. Wadley 13-0, Maplesville 14-0. Wadley wins 22-14 over Addison. Maplesville wins 59-18 over Leroy. The 2 teams played for the state championship last year, and Wadley won 37-7. That was Wadley's only state championship last year. Maplesville has won 4. 1996, 2014, 2015, and 2016. And Phil, you said something as we came back from the break about playing in a state championship game, because you had an opportunity to do that and won a state championship there at Valley Head. And I know you and I think your guys got together sometime this year and kind of celebrated that.
Yeah, it was. We had our it was last season. Yeah, last season had our 40th reunion, and and it's a certain brotherhood you have from going through that. It's a special time, a special moment, and there's nothing better than playing for a state championship. I don't think it really sinks in on you when you get to that point, but as years go by, you understand it don't define you as an individual, but it's kind of a building block on your story going through life, and it means a great deal, not only to you and your football team, but to the community that you serve, because it means so much to these communities for you to win a state championship, because they kind of sort of live life through your eyes for a certain amount of time. Get away from life for a little while, and you get to enjoy some football and really enjoy themselves and live life through those kids.
I've always said that that's one of the great things about Alabama football. It's more community football than it is maybe in some of the surrounding states where they're county schools and they're big schools, but yet we still have community football here where communities can rally. Communities like Wadley and Maplesville and 1A, just small communities, can rally around those football teams in a school we know is the center of every community. And of course, I didn't get to play for a state championship, but I had the privilege of calling and doing the play-by-play in color for the Crossville High School team back in 1986 when they won the state championship. And that was, as a graduate from Crossville, it was a proud night when Bill Prickett and myself were able to do that from Crossville Memorial Stadium as they beat Elba that night to win the state championship game. And that's memories, as you talked about, you'll never forget. Even though I didn't participate, I still was part of that with Coach Roger Hibbs and that group as they played through that season.
Oh, yeah. It's a little special when it's your home team. It has a little bit of extra mustard to it. But that's like when I called the state championship game, Pisgah's only state championship game, when they lost in 1999, 27-7 to Clay County. John Kirby, who was a teammate of mine that played quarterback, was the head coach, and then Jim Kirby, who was my head coach, was the color man. So that meant that was a special moment for me also. So I kind of know how you feel in calling a state championship. Pisgah didn't win it, but it was just something special about being there.
It's just special, as you say. As it looks like Jackson has scored again. I understand they've gone up 44-15, so they're pulling away here at the end. And all the folks from Anniston that may be headed back to Anniston celebrating their win over Plainview tonight. That's who you'll play next week. They'll play next Friday morning at 11 o'clock. There's only about 5 minutes to go in that game, and that should put it away tonight. Another touchdown from Xavier Crowell tonight. He's one of the outstanding running backs in the nation. He should sign, is expected to sign this week. Is signing day for a lot of high school athletes in our area and around the state and around the nation. Is Wednesday, I believe, Wednesday through Friday of next week is signing day. That's 48, 72 hours. So Jackson now, as I've been corrected, it's 43-15 instead of 44-15. Jackson is up right now over St. Michael's. And Anthony, he just put in, he's played for a state championship too. And Big A, we know you played for a state championship up at North Jackson, and you fell a little bit short. I think that was the UMS Wright, if I believe. Yes. And that's why there is a hatred for UMS Wright from that young man.
No doubt about it.
And I mean, I'm saying it correctly, right?
Yeah, I think so. Every time we mentioned that name, when he was here, you could see a little smoke come from up from his ears, and the horns come out.
Oh,
yeah. So no doubt about it.
Jackson leading now 43-15, and Anniston, we told you, a winner over Plainview tonight, 32-29. Special thanks to our Team of the Week sponsors this year. They were Dixie Designs, Wilson's Trophies, and Wilburn's Waxing Solutions. This season, we had the pleasure of handing out Team of the Week trophies and T-shirts to 11 schools and over 800 players and coaches in Northeast Alabama. Thanks to Dixie Designs, Wilson's Trophies, and Wilburn's Waxing Solutions for your support of the high school football scoreboard.
Shop and save during the Black Friday sale going on now at the Furniture Shop, Lazy Boy Comfort Studios in Albertville and Henniger. Get 20% off store-wide, plus amazing savings on this area's largest selection of Lazy Boy recliners. A select group of recliners, too, for $999, and lift chairs for $899. The Black Friday 20% store-wide savings event on quality handcrafted Lazy Boy comfort in Saturday, December 6th at the Furniture Shop, Lazy Boy Comfort Studios in Albertville and Henniger. Let the shopping begin.
The snap is good. The connection is great. FTC brings fiber internet to your home turf this football season. No buffering, no dropped connections, just reliable high-speed internet that's built to perform where it matters most. Whether you're streaming the game or checking the scores, we've got the speed you need. Score big with FTC's fiber, your home team for high-speed internet. Call 256-638-2144 or visit farmerstel.com today. FTC, we keep you connected.
When it comes to your family's health, you deserve a doctor who listens. Riverview Regional Medical Center's Dr. Sabrina Morgan Graves provides compassionate, personalized care for every stage of life, from checkups and wellness visits to managing ongoing health needs. Conveniently located in the Medical Arts Building at 303 Bay Street in Gadsden. Call 256-543-1222 today to schedule your appointment. Dr. Morgan Graves, caring for your family like family.
At First Southern Bank, we've been serving our community since 1935, starting small, growing strong, and always investing in what matters more, you. From personal checking to business loans, we're here to help you save smarter, borrow with confidence, and build a stronger future. We're local, we're homegrown, and we're still growing, one customer at a time. Visit Greg or Clint at the Boaz branch and experience banking built on trust, service, and hometown values. First Southern Bank, banking with heart since 1935, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On Friday nights, the big wins happen under the lights. But at Gadsden State Community College, the victories happen every day. Whether it's working toward a college degree, mastering hands-on workforce training, or charging into the healthcare career, Gadsden State is here to help you find and reach your next set of goals. Financial assistance is plentiful, classes are flexible, and opportunities are wide open. Enroll at Gadsden State and let's start your next big win. Visit gadsdenstate.edu to get started.
The deals keep rolling at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service. Now through November 30th, we're giving $100 off any set of 4 Goodyear or Kelly branded tires. That's instant savings on quality tires from the brands you know, installed by the experts you trust. And there's more. When you combine our offer with Goodyear's current rebate, you can save up to $300. Visit one of our 12 locations today to take advantage of this offer while it lasts, including Albertville, Gunnersville, and Gadsden. And remember, at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Friday nights in the fall are special nights in our communities. It's when everyone comes together to cheer for our football teams, bands, and cheerleaders. This is DeKalb County Sheriff Nick Weldon. As you enjoy this football Friday night, I would like for you to think about the young people who are making decisions right now that could put their future at risk. Drugs are destroying the lives of our youth. Help us stop drug activity by reporting it to DeKalb County Sheriff's Office. Call us at 845-3801.
Take the WQSB High School Football Scoreboard with you wherever you go. Download our free WQSB app for your phone and smart device. Now, back to the Scoreboard on Alabama's Country Giant, WQSB.
Down in Fairhope tonight, St. Michael's has just scored, got a 2-point conversion, and with 3:11 to go in that game, it's Jackson up on St. Michael's 44-23. Jackson, their 2 losses this year, they've been to St. Michael's. They lost 49-39. They also lost to Saraland. Saraland's going to play for the 6A state championship. It still looks like that's who Anniston is going to play with 3:11 to go. Jackson is up by 3 possessions right now, 44-23. Of course, we told you that Anniston, they scored with about 4 seconds to go in the game. Heartbreaking loss for the Plainview Bears, 32-29 tonight. But what a great year for Coach Dale Pruitt there and the Plainview Bears. Is that team? They knew they were going to have a good team, I believe, Phil. But I think to a lot of us, that was really surprised how good they really were this year.
Yeah, I think that the expectations was maybe that 8-2, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't think they really sort of had a grip on it that they might go 10-0. But when they beat Pisgah, this team really come together and really run the table. Played well, got to pass 2 rounds of the playoffs. What a great season it's been. You hate to see the magic slipper just kind of go off for this football team, but what a gallant effort. They really put a thrill into this community, so hats off to them. And on the flip side, Rico Jackson coaching Anderson. I remember when I saw an article when he first took over the program. He said he felt like this team had the potential to win now, and he made that happen. So hats off to him. Evidently, he's an outstanding football coach because, this is a game where his team could have folded their tents. Tough environment. Plainview comes back, takes the lead, has all the momentum, but his team keeps their composure, goes right down the field and wins. So that had to be a reflection of their coach, Rico Jackson. So, the Bulldogs earned this one. You hate to see Plainview fall this way, but then again, you're glad for the Bulldogs and Rico Jackson.
Anniston will be looking for their 3rd state championship in school history. They won one in 1989 and back in 1994. So some 31 years later, they'll be looking for another state championship as the Bulldogs will advance. And again, looks like that they'll play the Jackson Aggies. Jackson, the defending 4A state champion. Of course, the first state championship game will be next Wednesday night. The Thompson Warriors will take on Opelika. Thompson, I think this is like the 8th consecutive year the Warriors have been in the state championship game, and they will play Opelika at 7 o'clock. Your 6A matchup next week will be Clay Chalkville and Saraland. Clay Chalkville defeated Muscle Shoals tonight 30-13, and Saraland defeated Benjamin Russell 38-21. Clay Chalkville looking for state championship number 5, and Saraland looking for state championship number 2, as those teams will square off next Friday night at 7 o'clock from Progressive Field.
In Class 5A, your final will be the Moody Blue Devils and the Viger Wolves. The Viger knocked off Williamson in a rematch. Williamson won earlier in the year. Viger gets the best of it this time. They win 28-21. Moody outlasted Scottsboro, pulled away in the second half to beat the Wildcats 35-10. So Moody now at 12-2. Viger now at 12-2. They will play next Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Protective Stadium.
And, of course, Viger looking for their 5th state championship. They won in 87 and 88, then 2008, and back in 2021. And Moody looking for their 1st state championship. In 4A, we told you, Anniston a winner over Plainview, 32-29. Jackson, they're leading St. Michael's 44-23, and about 2:28 to go in that game. Don't know if that game's going to finish before we go off at 10:30 tonight, but it looks like that Jackson is going to win. As the Jackson Aggies have 3 state championships, Phil, to their in their school history, 1979, 2011, and, of course, last year, 2024, when they beat the Cherokee County Warriors.
Yeah, and very impressive football program, or football team last year, and very impressive right now. It's going to be a tall order for Anniston next week. In Class 3A, the final will be Mars Hill Bible taking on Bayside Academy. Mars Hill Bible now 14-0. They beat Piedmont 48-16. Bayside's now 13-1. They beat Southside Selma 51-20. Mars Hill, no stranger. They were there in the state championship last year. And so they will play at 11 a.m., and this game will be on Thursday at 11 a.m. from Protective Stadium. And, of course, that's December the 4th.
Mars Hill became a member of the Alabama High School Athletic Association back in 2014. That's, 11 football seasons ago. They've won 3 state championships in 2018, 2020, and last year they beat Houston Academy 50-43, and they'll be defending their state championship. Of course, Bayside Academy, they've been to the state championship once. They lost to a very good Piedmont team back in 2015, so Bayside will be looking for state championship number 1 in their school history. Looking at Class 2A, of course, Coosa Christian, big night for the Conquerors as they go to Pisgah and knock off the Eagles. They had to come from behind a couple of times, but a great game there at Pisgah tonight as the Conquerors win 44-36 over the Pisgah Eagles. And Lynette, they were a winner over Reeltown. Lynette built up a big lead in this game, 35-0. Reeltown scored the last 3 touchdowns in the game, but Lynette gets the win, 35-19. Of course, Coosa looking for their 1st state championship. They lost in the state championship game back in 2023. They lost to Leroy in that game, 28-21. But as I understand it, back in 1982, maybe Coosa had won an Alabama Christian Schools state championship back in 1982. And, of course, Lynette looking for their 3rd state championship as they win 1-1 in 2017 and again in 2019.
And something we hadn't mentioned, Rush Probst took over this program on an interim basis. And he talked about this when we interviewed him, Jeff. This team could have went one way or the other. They could have pulled together or fell apart, but he was able to hold the program together. And hats off to these young men because they just moved on, moved forward, and now they're in the state championship game.
Yeah, this team had high expectations going into the season, and they've exceeded or equal the expectations for them getting to the state championship game. Phil, it has gone final down at Fairhope tonight. Jackson has defeated St. Michael's 44-23. Your final score, 44-23. Jackson over St. Michael's. So the Aggies, they will defend their state championship next week against Anniston at 11 o'clock on Friday of next week.
And, of course, finally in Class 1A, Wadley, the Bulldogs, they went to Addison had a tough time of it. Addison come back in the second half and tied this game at 14. But Wadley scores late, gets a 2-point conversion. They win 22-14. They will take on Maplesville, and I think these two have been on collision course. Wadley now 13-0, Maplesville 14-0. Maplesville handled Leroy 59-18. So next Friday at 3 p.m., it will be Wadley versus Maplesville.
Southern Elite Realty, serving all of North Alabama. Let Jerry O'Neill and his veteran team of agents provide you with a winning experience. Check them out at mysouthernelite.com. Southern Elite Realty, where great real estate is built on a firm foundation.
It's football time in Alabama. The players are hitting the field, the cheerleaders are firing up the crowd, the drum major's striking up the band, and we all stand for the national anthem. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. While you cheer your favorite team this season, I'll be on President Trump's team shaking things up in Washington. When we stand on conservative principles, it's a win for everyone. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones, your hometown trusted choice insurance agency. Randy Jones and Associates knows the playing field, and we have been proudly serving communities across North Alabama for 46 years. Having the right protection on the field is important. The RJA team of experienced agents will help you find affordable, customized insurance coverage for your family, business, and future. Stop by a local Randy Jones Associates office for a free, no-obligation quote or complimentary policy review.
You can buy for less.
Hey folks, Randy Ball here at Gilbert Ball Ford in Albertville. At Gilbert Ball Ford, our customer service is top priority. Our priority is to serve our customers and our communities. We'll appreciate having you as our customer and look forward to serving you again. Come see the difference at Gilbert Ball Ford in Albertville. And remember, folks, if you don't come see us, I can't save you any money. And visit our website at gilbertballford.com.
You can buy for less. You can buy for less.
Support your favorite team in school colors from Dixie Designs, Denson Avenue in Boaz. Dixie Designs can create a logo or custom artwork for your school, church, business, or upcoming event. From screen printing to embroidery, the team at Dixie Designs can do it all. T-shirts, caps, sweats, jackets, polos, uniforms, and much more. Dixie Designs is the official printer of the WQSB Team of the Week T-shirts. Dixie Designs, 415 Denson Avenue in Boaz. Quality sportswear that you can wear every day.
Friday night lights are shining bright across our community, and Coca-Cola United is proud to be on the sidelines cheering with you. From the first kickoff to the final whistle, we're here to support our hometown athletes, coaches, and fans. Nothing brings people together like football, and nothing refreshes like an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola United, celebrating our community, one game at a time.
At Family Savings Credit Union, we believe in people helping people. Whether you're overcoming challenges or building on great credit, we're here with real support, smart guidance, and personalized plans, because you're not just a number, you're family.
Apply online for quick turnaround. FamilySavingsCU.com.
Family Savings Credit Union, where your money grows with you and your family. Member accounts insured by NCUA.
Pax Nursery and Garden Center on Highway 168 between Boaz and Kilpatrick reminds you fall is time for planting, and they have a large selection of fruit trees, blackberry plants, grapevines, blueberry bushes, shade and flowering trees, encore azaleas, hydrangeas, roses, hollies, boxwoods, and much more. They also have mulch, pine straw, concrete pots, and statuary. Follow them on Facebook to see what's new. Pax Nursery and Garden Center, open Monday through Friday 7:30 to 4:30 and Saturdays till noon.
You can listen to high school football action each week on WQSB's sister station. WKXX 102.9 brings you Hoax Bluff Eagles football, and Power 107.5 covers Albertville Aggie football. Now back to the scoreboard on Alabama's country giant WQSB.
Well, we're going to go through our last segment of the season here, as we're going to give you some final scores and get out of here. But before we do that, I want to thank all our advertisers this year. each and every year. They're the reason we get to do this on Friday night, and one of those advertisers who's been supporting the program for many years is Jerry O'Neill. And Jerry sent us this, Phil, so I'm just going to read it to you on the air tonight, that he sent it to me, and he said, "Good evening, my friend. I would like to say thank you for another amazing season of Friday Night Scoreboard. You and Phil and the team are top-notch and true examples of dedication to a greatly respected tradition. I look forward to another season as we continue this great legacy. I consider it a great honor to be part of the Friday Night Scoreboard family. Thank you again for all you do, and see you next season." I don't know that I could said it any better.
Yeah.
Any better than what Jerry O'Neill has said. We've got people standing in the studio right now. Russ is sitting over there. I appreciate what he does as he engineers on Friday night. Trey sit over there for most of the year. He did a great job. Of course, Dave Soha is in the room with us right now, and Dave has been my Blount County contact throughout the year. He's kept up with all those scores, and of course, we have many, many other people like Dave throughout the area, because I have a lot of people that ask me, how do you get the scores that fast? And we have built up a network over the years that we've been able to get scores, and I know you've got folks that contact you and text you every week.
Yeah, of course, I can't name everybody, but just like my brother-in-law, Kevin Ward, that texts me for Fort Payne games. I mean, there's many names out there, many people that gives me feedback on what we do. And it's just, kind of the same story that you wrote there. Friday Night Scoreboard is a tradition in Northeast Alabama and all across North Alabama. And it's a pleasure to be on here, and it's a pleasure to serve the community that we're a part of, and it means a lot to us. I mean, everybody has winners, everybody has losers. We get to jump on the bandwagon, and it don't matter to us who wins or loses. We just enjoy what we do, and we love promoting communities and these kids.
Absolutely. Anthony, we appreciate him, Anthony Ridgway. He's not in the studio a lot, but he's out there. I've talked about Anthony down through the years. He's been with the program as long as Phil has 18 years and finding scores for us. Andrew Kilpatrick and Seth, they've handled the social media that they do every year. They do a great job. And, of course, Stone Reagan and Jalen Lynn have worked at WAVU and WKXX along with others. So this is not only Phil and I, this is a great bunch of folks that work around us. We're just the folks that you have to listen to on Friday night that we get to do this. But it's been a great year. And before we get out of here, we want to give you all the final scores again for tonight one more time. And we'll begin in Class 1A as it was Wadley over Addison 22-14. Maplesville was a winner over Leroy 59-18. It'll be next Thursday, the 1A state championship, as it'll be Wadley and Maplesville at 3 p.m. next week.
In Class 2A, it was Coosa Christian. They defeated Pisgah 44-36, while Lynette beat Reeltown 35-19. So next Friday at 3 p.m., it will be Coosa Christian versus Lynette.
In Class 3A, Mars Hill Bible, they're 14-0. They'll play Bayside Academy, who's 13-1. Mars Hill beats Piedmont 48-13. Bayside was the winner over Southside Selma 51-20. Mars Hill will play Bayside next Friday at 11 o'clock.
In Class 4A, Dandy football game, it's a shame you had to have a loser in this one, but naturally you're going to have one. The Anniston Bulldogs outlasted Plainview, scoring with 4 seconds remaining to win 32-29, while Jackson dominated St. Michael's 44-23. So next Friday at 11 a.m., it will be the Anniston Bulldogs versus the Jackson Aggies.
Moving on to Class 5A, where it was Moody over Scottsboro 35-10, and Viger winner over Williamson 28-21. Next week, it will be Viger against Moody at 7 o'clock next Thursday.
And then finally in Class 6A, it was Clay Chalkville. The Cougars knocked off Muscle Shoals 30-13, while Saraland beat Benjamin Russell by the final score of 38-21. So next Friday at 7 p.m., it will be Clay Chalkville versus Saraland, both teams unbeaten.
And the first state championship game will be next Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock as Thompson will take on Opelika for the 7A state championship. That's going to do it for us tonight and for this year. We do appreciate you listening. It's been another great season here at the high school football scoreboard. So tonight for Phil Harris, for Russ Mathis, for Anthony Ridgway, Andrew Kilpatrick, Seth Hopper, Stone Reagan, Jalen Lynn, Dave Soha, I'm Jeff Allen saying good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.